Capel appears in person this morning along with counsel Nancy Schaub. Good morning. The prosecution does not appear this morning of their own choosing. In regard to the matter then, did you have a chance to go over the resentencing recommendations with Mr. Capel?
I did, Your Honor. There's nothing of a factual nature that we need to address in there. I did talk to Mr. Capel about his payments. He's indicated that he was planning on paying with his taxes. I think he has some financial difficulties due to being in and out of work. So I think he's trying to catch up on some back bills and putting the court on the back burner, so to speak. Advised him that's not a good idea. Even paying $5 a week would make an impression on the court. So I think he'll try and do better going forward. With regard to the drug screen today, he advises me that he will not pass the drug screen. And
in what respect are we not going to pass?
Said he was.
Buckle up, guys. Today we are heading into Judge Lau's courtroom, which we rarely see, but when we do, it's always a spectacle. Right from the jump, we know this is going to be messy. A defendant who clearly doesn't understand the gravity of probation is about to learn the hard way. The stage is set for chaos as he faces consequences for taking his probation lightly. From the very first moments, you can see the tension. Lawyers bracing, the judge wary, and the audience expecting fireworks. This is one of those lessons you don't want to learn personally scenarios.
Capel, start looking at why you can't make any probation cost payments. You're spending it all on meth. Anyway, go ahead, Ms. Schaub. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Your Honor, he was honest with me that he would not pass. I discussed with him where he got it, and he apparently...
Here we see Mr. Capel appear in court, accompanied by his attorney, while the prosecution conspicuously skips the hearing. Right away, you notice the attorney trying to mitigate the obvious issue. Payments he hasn't made. He claims financial struggles and hopes the court will look past the delays. But the judge isn't buying excuses. The dialogue here underscores the absurdity. Mr. Capel is prioritizing back bills over his legal obligations, revealing a clear pattern of irresponsibility. This segment sets the tone for the clash between accountability and negligence.
Circumstances that was not a wise choice, but he does have a full-time job. If he goes to jail for 15 days, I don't know if that job will be available when he gets out of jail. So I don't know what the court wants to do with Mr. Capel. I don't know how. I had notes prior to his pleading to this that he had been testing clean and doing what he was supposed to do, but apparently he's gotten a little bit off track. I'm hoping the court will give him one more break and not put him in jail today.
Thank you. Mr. Capel, anything you'd like to add?
Yeah, I work at hometown right now. We're reduced to winter hours.
What?
We're reduced hours right now because it's the slow season. So I'm only getting like 32-ish a week. So it's like $500 a paycheck, roughly, give or take, after taxes. But I should have enough today for, if not half, majority of the court costs that I owe. Because of 4 seasons, I clocked enough hours, I think. I'm just waiting on the W-2.
Now we reach the moment of truth, the drug screen. Mr. Capel openly admits he will fail. He's using meth and marijuana. The honesty is staggering, but the judgment is immediate. The attorney flounders, clearly frustrated, as the court absorbs this confession. The humor and horror collide here. His reasoning for using drugs sounds ridiculous, yet the judge's disappointment speaks volumes. It's a masterclass in courtroom patience and frustration. This section highlights the consequences of poor choices and how transparency doesn't always save you.
Anything else you'd like to add?
May should go back to regular hours, so I'll have a lot better time.
How long have you been there?
Since July.
And what are you working now then?
What's a rotating schedule? So it's 8 to 4 with Wednesday off. And then the Saturday off for my work van. And then it's 9 to 4 or 9 to 5 with Wednesday off. And then I work that Saturday 8 to 1. That's if I don't get sent home early. Because we have a high school kid that comes in about 3:30. I usually let him get a couple hours for the end of the day there.
Well, I have some serious concerns here. This was an underlying felony, Mr. Capel. You had 2 charges of assault with a dangerous weapon, felonious assault, felony firearm, reckless use of a firearm, and it was a very troubling underlying situation. In a dating relationship, argument the day before, pushed her on several occasions. Victim and another victim were present in the apartment. You became upset, retrieved a revolver from your bedroom, brandished the revolver, and demanded everyone leave the apartment. That was pled down by the prosecutor's office. You ended up pleading on a domestic violence, an assault and battery, and a reckless use of a firearm, all in misdemeanor court. That you were placed on probation for in January of 2023. Your bond condition, sir, where you were not supposed to be using marijuana or other types of controlled substances that weren't prescribed to you way back in November of 2022. That was put into place. That continued when you were sentenced in January of 2023.
Mr. Capel tries to justify his situation with work schedules and reduced hours, giving a detailed rundown of his paycheck and shifts. But the judge and observers can see the real problem isn't finances, it's substance abuse. The effort to humanize himself falls flat, showing a disconnect between perception and reality. His struggle to explain his rotating schedule only emphasizes a lack of foresight. This segment captures the futility of excuses when underlying behavior remains uncontrolled. The narrative is a cautionary tale of misplaced priorities.
And then most recently, what you're being sentenced for today was on September 20th, you had a positive for methamphetamine. Here we are in January of 2024, and your lawyer's telling me you're still going to be positive. I lowered your payment to $100 a month starting back then in October, and you still haven't made any payments because from what it seems like to me, the money's going out the door. Maybe you've got less hours, but you have not. How do you justify purchasing methamphetamine? You can't. And maybe it was a gift, maybe it wasn't, but now we got September and January on top of everything else going on here. It sounds to me from the behavior that was demonstrated at the underlying charge, you had probably some meth going on that day and an inability to control your anger due to the ingestion of meth. It does not do good things to people. You're lucky you didn't kill somebody that day. This is absolutely ridiculous. Now you come in here telling me, I can't go to jail, Judge, because, I'm going to lose my job and I value my job. If you valued your job, you wouldn't have been doing meth. You know you're being watched. I mean, how bad of a problem do you have when you know you're being watched? You're coming in to get sentenced for violating your probation for using meth, and you come in here dirty for meth. That's not my problem. That's your problem. That's a big problem. That's what you're telling me. Red flags going up all over. Problem. Can't even control my behavior enough when I know I'm going to go to court and get sentenced. So I am sorry, Mr. Capel. Sometimes we are our own worst enemies, aren't we? I don't know what to tell you here, but this is absolutely ridiculous.
Give me 3 weeks, I can guarantee.
She's not worried about payment. She's worried about you doing
I
your
can
job.
guarantee you.
Here's where the courtroom intensity ramps up. Judge Laus delivers a piercing summary of Mr. Capel's criminal history, probation conditions, and repeated violations. The commentary emphasizes how probation is not optional. It's a binding contract. The judge's words underscore a truth many fail to grasp. Failing probation isn't a minor inconvenience. It's a direct threat to your freedom. This part is a lesson in accountability, demonstrating the stark difference between compliance and personal ruin. It's sharp, no nonsense, and a wake-up call to anyone skirting rules.
So this is where you're at today. I'm going to continue your probation. If you can't establish clean testing, get used to the bunk rack over there, because that's where you'll be back. Your outstanding balance is $795. I will allow that continued payment to commence 30 days after his release from jail. Recommence.
That was $17.95, Your Honor.
What did I say? $1795. I'm not going to assess another attorney fee. We'll take that off of there.
Can I get a report date?
I'm going to order 15 days in jail, 0 days credit. I will hold 10 days in abeyance if you successfully pass a drug screen today at booking. If you don't, you will serve the 15 days commencing.
The judge continues with a no-holds-barred critique, focusing on the recent meth use and its connection to previous violent behavior. The commentary highlights the danger of ignoring patterns. Substances amplify risk, and consequences escalate rapidly. Mr. Capel's reasoning about work protection is laughably naive, showing how denial often masks self-destructive behavior. This portion is all about cause and effect. The courtroom exposing the reality that choices have immediate, tangible repercussions. It's harsh, but brutally instructive.
Counseling program, you can continue attending that. So, Mr. Capel, if you can't pass the screen today, you're going to be sitting your 15 days.
And
Can't get a
then
check-in date, so.
No, it's right now.
when you
Right now.
get out of jail, you check in with your probation officer as soon as possible.
Right now, Mr. Capel, you made this bed yourself. Think about it. You got 15 nights to think about it.
Sign, and then he'll take you down to probation.
He is going to jail, right?
Yes, he's going to jail either for 5 days or 15, depending on him. So if you test clean, you'll be out in time to go to work on Monday. That key is in your hands. I can't do anything about it. In regard to the matter, that's that. Did you understand your appeal rights then?
The sentencing phase begins. The judge sets clear expectations. Pass a drug screen, and some leniency is possible. Fail, and the jail time is immediate. This moment demonstrates judicial discretion paired with accountability. The tension is palpable. The future hinges on one test. Commentary here should underline the power of responsibility and personal choice, the immediate link between action and consequence. It's a dramatic, high-stakes moment that proves procrastination and poor decision-making have real-world effects.